Hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm your favorite frugal introvert, Jerry. I get paid monthly, but I budget weekly, and I'm learning how to both manage my money and how to make more of it. So what's up, y'all? Happy Monday. I hope y'all are doing well today. Drop down in the comments below as always, and let me know how your day is going. So today's video is going to be a budget with me video. Now, I didn't do a budget on camera. This budget spreadsheet is going to look a lot different from what you guys normally would see on my channel. So I used to use my own budget spreadsheet that I created, and then I would track all of my expenses in my Happy Planner. I didn't want to do that this year because I'm just not a planner person. I didn't think that it was necessary for me to spend any money on a planner when I knew I wasn't going to use it. So I decided to switch to an all digital format. I got this annual budget spreadsheet from an Etsy seller called Shushko, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's how you pronounce it, but let me know if I mispronounced it down in the comments below. I did get this at an extremely discounted price. So as you can see right here, this is the annual budget spreadsheet that I purchased. Now I bought this for $1.60 something cents. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was less than $2. They have since increased their price, and I can see why, because it's an extremely detailed spreadsheet. The current price is $28.01, but it's 50% off and it's $10.54 currently. I will link it down in the description box below if you guys are interested in checking it out. But so far, I really do like this budget spreadsheet, and I'm gonna go back so you can see it. But it starts off with the instructions here. The next sheet is your monthly budget setup. You'll see that some of these things I've left blank, like my sinking funds, my savings challenges, I left that blank because those two change from month to month. But I did fill out everything else that probably will stay the same from month to month. My paycheck, $26.78.69. I'm going to put $100 in my emergency fund every month. I'm going to invest $300 every month in my Roth. I'm probably going to invest $50 in stocks and $50 in crypto every month. My groceries, I'm reducing that bill by $50. So I was budgeting $250 from month to month last year, but I'm dropping it down to $200. So I'm going to see if I can stick to that $200. I'm going to budget $60 for gas, $60 for eating out, $70 for personal, and $60 for miscellaneous. My rent is typically around $585 per month. My Verizon bill is $90. My internet $78.99. Bluehost is $7.62. Carnival is $80, and then HP Inc. is $4.35. I may get rid of this Bluehost. This is essentially for me to keep my email address, which I really don't need it. I can get a Gmail address. I haven't been doing anything with my domain. I've had it for the past 2 years, and I just haven't done anything with it. So I may end up canceling that, and I may end up canceling the email address. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'll let you guys know if I do decide to do that. And then lastly, my student loans, I usually send $100 a month towards that. So the next page is the transactions page. As you can see, I have my paycheck listed here. I did get some additional income from Etsy on the 3rd for $8.15. So I really do appreciate all of you guys who are constantly supporting my Etsy. I really do appreciate that. Now you can see right here, it says $12.15.22 right beside my salary. That's because I did get paid my January paycheck on December 15th. If you guys don't know, I am a salaried employee. I work in higher education at a college. You know, the colleges are closed for the winter break. Because of that, they give us our paycheck on December 15th. But the downside to that is that we don't get paid again until the last working day of January, which is it January 31st maybe? So what I ended up doing last month when I got paid my January paycheck is I took that paycheck, I put it in my savings account, and I did not touch it until January hit. I've made the mistake in the past of spending that money or spending some of the money before January even hit. And then I wasn't left with that much money when January actually came. So I usually put that money in a savings account and I do not touch it until the new year comes. But as you can see so far for the month, my income is $26.86.84 with that additional Etsy income. So far, I've spent $963.81 on my bills and my expenses. So the $90 for Verizon, the $100 for my student loans, $21.55 for some vitamins on the 2nd. On the 3rd, I paid my rent for $586.54. I also paid $882 for some home products. Now, I used to put my home expenses in my variable expenses, but because I now have a household sinking fund, I took that out of my variable expenses. And anytime I'm going to buy something for my apartment, I'm going to take it out of that household sinking fund. And it is highlighted in purple, just like I used to do it in my Happy Planner. Whenever I move something or unstuff something from my sinking funds, I always highlighted it in purple just so I can differentiate between what's coming from my paycheck versus what's coming from a sinking fund. On the 4th, I did eat out at Moe's for $11.53. I got some more personal products from CVS for $6.40. On the 5th, my internet came out for $7.89. The 6th, the 7th were no spend days. The 8th, I got groceries from Walmart for $51.59. I also got some home products for $6.55 and then more personal items for $1.84. And then my savings and my investments, I have already saved and invest $1,253. That's the $30 for my Roth, $100 for my emergency fund, $678 for my sinking funds for the month, $100 for my savings challenges for the month, and then $75 from rollover from my variable expenses. I'm putting that into my Roth IRA. Next sheet is a calendar. I'm not really going to go into detail about that, but it just lets you check off what you've already paid, and then you see what's still outstanding from your bills. And then next is the annual dashboard. Again, I'm not going to go through this too much, but I do like how you're able to see everything for the entire year. So far, it's showing me what I have in income for January, my expenses, my bills, my savings, and then what free cash I have left over. And then it also breaks down how much you've made so far for the year here, how much you've saved, how much you've invested, how much your total expenses were for the year, your total bills, and your total debt payoff. So really what we're going to be looking at today is my January weekly budget. This is a page that I added in that was not originally in the spreadsheet that I bought. Although I get paid monthly, I do budget weekly. And so I didn't want to have to write it down on a piece of paper or, create a whole separate document or anything like that for my weekly budget. So I decided to add it into the spreadsheet just so it can be all in one place. And now it's definitely not as fancy as the rest of the spreadsheets, but this works for what I need it to do. So I have it broken down week by week. So I've got week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 right here. So let's go over week 1. I'm going to go over this kind of quickly because I've already kind of gone over this already, but I have my budget in my actual columns here. I have everything broken down by bills, variable expenses, investments, and my sinking funds. Bluehost and Carnival, those don't come out for the first week. HP Inc. Let me know if this happens to you guys. So I did budget $435 because I thought that they were going to charge my account, but they have not charged my account for HP Inc. yet. The last time they charged my account was November. Some months they charge me, some months they don't charge me. Maybe it'll come out for this week, who knows? But I did budget $758.34 altogether for my bills, but I spent $755.53. So I did spend less than I initially budgeted. So it still worked out even though I was over for my rent. My variable expenses, I did budget $50 for groceries, didn't spend anything, didn't budget anything for gas, budgeted $15 for eating out, spent $11.53. Budgeted $35 for personal, spent $27.95. Budgeted $15 for miscellaneous, didn't spend anything. So $115 total budgeted, but only spent $39.48. So that's a win in my book. If I scroll all the way down here, you see this row that says rollover, $75.52. That's how much I have left over from my variable expenses. So it's essentially the $115 minus the $39.48. $75.52, I rounded it down to 75 to make it a whole number. And I invested that money into my Roth IRA. I'm going to try to limit my spending so that I'll have more money to invest every single week. I think I may change my goal quarterly. So as of right now for quarter 1, whatever rollover I have, I'm going to invest it in my Roth IRA. Quarter 2, I may continue to do that, but I may end up putting my rollover into my emergency fund, or I may put it in my vacation sinking fund. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So let's scroll back up. My investments, I've already invested the $300 that I was originally going to invest in my Roth IRA. I did budget $13 for crypto and $13 for stocks, but I did not invest anything. Week 1, I just really didn't do anything. I really wasn't motivated to do anything. So I did budget $326, but I only invested $300. Sinking funds, same deal. I did budget $427, but I didn't do any cash stuffings. So we're just going to move over to week 2. So really the only bill that I have is that $762 for Bluehost. Like I said, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. It is due on the 12th. I may end up canceling it before then so they don't charge my card. I don't know yet. Variable expenses, I did budget $50 for groceries. I've already gone over budget by $1.59. That's over budget, but it's not terrible. I did budget $45 for gas. I didn't spend anything. Let me tell you about how much of a sweetheart my partner is. So he decided to go and clean my car, and he filled up my gas tank for me. So I do not have to spend any money on gas, and I most likely won't have to spend any money on gas for the rest of the month. If I do, it'll probably be at the very end of the month because I really don't drive that often. I live 6 miles from my job. I only go in 3 days a week. If my partner and I ever go anywhere, he's always the one that's driving because I do not like to drive. I typically save a lot of money on gas because of that. So yeah, I already know that I have $45 in rollover that can go towards my Roth IRA. So shout out to my partner. I budgeted $15 for eating out. I have not spent anything yet. I did budget $5 for personal. So far, I've only spent $1.84. and I budgeted $15 for miscellaneous. Haven't spent anything yet. So total budgeted $130 for variable expenses, but I've only spent $53.43 so far. I'm hoping to keep that number right here. I don't want to spend any more money. That way I'll have, if we scroll down, $76.57 in rollover that I can invest into my Roth IRA. Fingers crossed, but we'll see how that goes. For my investments, I'm taking that $75 in rollover from last week, investing it into my Roth, $26 into crypto, and $26 into stocks. So it's essentially $13 from this week, and then the $13 from last week that I never invested. So total is $127 that I'm investing for the week. And then my sinking funds, $613. So same deal, just as the investments. For example, for car maintenance, $10 for this week, and then the $10 for last week. The last thing I want to look at is down here, my variable expenses. This is an extra column that I put down here. So it shows me my starting and my ending balances. So for example, for my variable expenses, I did budget $200 and I have $98.41 remaining. Now, even though I only spent, if we scroll back up, $51.59, I'm still subtracting the $50 that I initially budgeted. And that's only because I'm using that money as rollover to invest in my Roth IRA. So I can't include it in the remaining balance if I'm spending that money and investing that money. So I hope that makes sense. So I did start out with $450 for my variable expenses, but I only have $203.41 remaining. But that was pretty much it for the video. I appreciate you guys being here. I know I went over it kind of fast, but if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss another upload. I hope y'all have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe, be blessed, and until next time, peace.